Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for joining me again at Islamically Shante, where I share with you little gems about deening from an African American revert to Islam. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about something. So, after you first take your Shahada, it's a natural thing for people to want to learn as much as they can, as quickly as they can. We ask a lot of questions because we just want to do everything right. Nothing wrong with that. But I would say kind of pump the brakes just a little bit. Read the Quran, go to masajid wherever you live, try to start getting to know other Muslims, go to Jummah as much as you can, which is on Fridays. And so you can start learning firsthand from the people, right? But try not to overwhelm yourself with learning too much too quickly and trying to implement everything. Because naturally we're excited. It's like, hey, I'm this fresh new human. I want to start, implement all the stuff that I'm learning and be pleasing to Allah. And that is very commendable. May Allah reward you for that. But don't make things hard on yourself because Allah will be patient with you and you won't be held accountable for something that you didn't know about, right? Because that wouldn't be just. So take your time and learn things and then implement them as it naturally comes to you, right? But with that, I did want to say this. So obviously, there are things that are halal or good for you, and there are things that are haram or forbidden to you. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he said that there are things that are very clear, right? This is halal, there's no question about it. This is haram, there's no question about it. And then there's a gray area. He said, try to avoid that gray area. That's kind of the danger zone, right? So in that, I wanted to say, unfortunately, this even with just Muslims, I've been Muslim for a while, but unfortunately there are some people who do know what is halal and what is haram, but because of their nafs or their desires or what they want to do, they kind of twist it as if something that is haram is halal. So what I'm trying to say is just be mindful of not trying to twist what the deen is in your mind just to make it fit your circumstance or what is preferable to you. If there is something that you learn and it's clear, this is haram, I'm not supposed to do that, but it's something that you do anyway. Because again, we're imperfect humans. I talked about this in my last video. So you're never going to walk a perfect straight line. It's not going to happen. And we all have different things that we struggle with. Things that may be easier for one person are difficult for the next. But do not fall into a situation where you start changing the deen of Allah and trying to get things to fit your narrative, which is what some people of the book, not here to bash, so I won't say that, but some people of the book did that before the message of Islam came to clarify certain things from religions in the past. So it's important to not fall into that. So for example, there is a lot of stuff with hijab. What is proper hijab? And full transparency, I'm on here in a niqab. I don't wear a niqab in my day-to-day life. I do wear my hijab every day. Don't leave the house without it. Niqab, I don't. But I have it on here because I'm not 100% sure about what the ruling is on that. And since I'm on here I would be, showing my face and stuff. Until I figure that out, I got the niqab on because I still want to come on here and talk to you, but make sure I have, the proper covering. But there are clear rulings on what is hijab, right? You may not know, but there are, as far as if something is see-through or if it shows the shape of your body and, certain things like this. So just because wearing hijab is difficult for a person doesn't mean that you should go around saying, oh, well, that's not hijab, or I'm allowed to do this, or I'm allowed to do that. No, the deen still is what it is. But if that thing is difficult for you, that's okay, but just don't mislead other people by trying to make it seem like that's what it really is, I know when my kids were younger, because they've been Muslim, I took Shahada when my twins, they were almost a year old, right? So they've pretty much spent their life Muslim. When they were younger and they would see other people that we knew to be Muslim, they would say, oh, hey, this person is smoking. Are they not Muslim? Or I saw, Auntie so-and-so, they didn't have a hijab on. Are they not Muslim anymore? And what I would tell them is that some things are difficult for other people. or something might be easy for you that's difficult for somebody else. So what we do, we're not Allah, we're not the judge. You know, if you see somebody doing something that is not of Islam, but we know that they're Muslim, don't talk about them. Don't go tell somebody else, oh, hey, I saw this person do this or do that. And don't think bad of them. Just know that there are some things that some people struggle with. So for us, those are still our brother and sister in Islam. Make dua for them that Allah makes that thing easier for them. And then that's what we should also do for ourselves. I have things that are difficult for me. Like, honestly, I grew up in a very musical household. I've been writing songs since I was in like junior high, right? But in Islam, it is my understanding that music is haram. Now, there's different rulings on that from different scholars, right? Or schools of thought. But I think no matter whether you were trying to say music itself is halal haram, if we listen to the lyrics of certain songs, it's clear that this is not something that's beneficial for us. Everything that we're watching, we're listening to, we're internalizing it, you know, we're taking that in. And there are things that are not good for our mind. They're not good for our heart or for our soul. So I have to ask myself, you know, should I be listening to stuff? And I kind of know to myself, hey, this is probably not the best thing in the world for me to be listening to, right? But it's difficult for me to not, because it's been a part of my life since I was a child. So that's a thing that may be a weakness for me. But does that mean that I should go around being like, oh, music is not haram? If you really think about it, this, that, and the third. No, it's just a thing that is not easy for me, you know, whereas somebody else, they might be able to do it with no question. Like, oh, that's not good. Okay, that's what it is, you know. And the Sahaba, you know, before us, mashallah, you know, may Allah reward them tremendously. They were good with certain things where it was like, you hear and obey, you know. Oh, this is haram? Okay, I'm not doing that, you know. But there are people who have weaknesses, you know, and that's just kind of what it is. So my main thing today was take it easy on yourself as you're learning your deen, but what you learn, don't change it, you know. It is what it is, whether it's hard for you, whether it's easy for you. Allah perfected his religion. You know, the pens have been lifted, the ink is dry, everything is written. It is what it is. If there's something that you genuinely have a question mark about, there are scholars who have information that can verify, you know. But don't burden yourself so quickly to where it's like, oh my God, I have to do this, I have to do that. Again, like I said before, people are like, well, if I can't be this way or do that, then I can't do it right now. It's not a question of doing it right now. The biggest thing is, do you believe? Do you believe it? Do you believe that there's only one God? There's not several. There's not the moon and the stars and the Trinity, you know. Do you believe that there's only one God, one being that created the whole heavens, the universe, everything, the earth, right? One being that created all of us, and that is the only entity worthy of being worshipped and nothing else. Not anyone that he created, not anything that he created. That he, Allah alone, is the only thing worthy of being worshipped. And giving him the praise and the glory for everything that he's done. Who is Allah? God, just one God. If that's what you believe, you take your shahada and you're Muslim. Everything else after that, you learn, you figure it out as you go along. Implement what you can when you can, and for the things that you can't get right, make dua. That's all we do. Well, Allah gave us tawbah, which I'll explain in a different video because there are parts to that. That's, you know, our way of asking Allah for forgiveness for the things that we do. But that's it. That's the only thing Allah wants from us. Acknowledge who he is, and when we mess up, acknowledge that he's forgiving, and that's what he wants to do. That he loves us, that we love him, and that we're going to strive to keep being better humans and worshipers for him before we meet him. So learn your deen at a good pace. That's good for you. Do your best to implement what you can when you can. Don't try to change the religion of Allah, and make dua about your weaknesses, that Allah will make it easy for you. But if you believe, and that's just what it is. So I'm going to go away. Have a good night or day. And if you have questions, let me know. And if you want to keep hearing from me, come back. All right, assalamu alaikum.